Hey there, Harmonites. So, I wanted to talk about today the answer we may give back when someone apologizes to us. There's a lot out there that is about giving an apology, accepting or forgiveness, especially when you are forgiving someone, you are really forgiving for your own self, not for the other person, right? But I was curious with how people answer or respond when they get a sincere apology. I'm not talking about like little tiny things, but I'm talking about big apologies that might come up. And I did a poll on my Harmonia Friends group page, and I polled my group, and I had three answers about when somebody gives an apology, a sincere apology. What answer would you give out of these three? Now, I'm sure there's other variations, but I wanted to focus on these three. One was, it's okay. That your response was, it's okay. The other was, I appreciate your apology. The third was, you really hurt me. All three very different variations. So I can tell you from a personal aspect of the kind of person that I was and how I have evolved and changed. When I would get an apology and did not, when I was in a lower vibration, I wasn't as mindful of what words are or observing what people's actions were. I took things a lot more personal. I downgraded my own self-worth. And I would always answer a specific way. I mean, in some kind of variation. I would either go, it's okay. Or I would go, you really hurt me. And this is how this hurt me. And I would have to go over and over and over and explain it. And like, this is how you hurt me. I was not the kind of person that would say, I appreciate your apology. Thank you. So, is there a right answer? Well, here's the reason why I don't say it's okay and don't go into the level of giving a full-on fledged description of my woe is me story of how they hurt me. And I am not putting down people who do this, okay? This is not what this is about. This is just to see a different perspective of why, some of those reasons why I don't do them anymore. Okay, so here we go. We'll start with okay, since I just said okay. It's okay. The it's okay answer, there's two things that happen. So, and this is how I see it now, and how I can now see with how personal reactions work, especially when you are more well aware of your own worth and your own issues. You know, you got to own your own shit. That's really the big thing here. You got to own your own shit. So when you say it's okay to somebody who just said, this profound apology to you, okay? Two things happen. One, and this is there's statistics on this to some extent, okay? Especially for the person who's giving the apology. What happens is when somebody says it's okay to you, you get this rush of feeling of like, it's over, it's done with. I'm so glad we can just move on and forget that, right? That person who just gave an apology, it took a shitload of courage for them to do that. Doesn't matter if how bad it was or whatever, they were vulnerable enough, man or woman, to come to you and say, I'm sorry. I know I hurt you. That was not my intention, whatever, that things. You were downgrading their apology. You were downgrading it by not giving that power, in the sense. You're letting them wash it away and forget. Okay? The other thing is, and what you were reflecting back into you. With an it's okay answer, you are saying to yourself, it's okay for people to treat me like shit. And I'm okay with that. Now, from a conscious level, you're going, no, that's not what I meant. I just meant I want to move on and talk about it. And like, that's, I moved on from it. I'm done with it. You may have forgiven that person ahead of time. They haven't done their step yet. And you are also telling yourself, your higher self, that it's okay for people to treat you like shit, right? It's okay to do that. And so you got to remember, your subconscious is what is ruling, or especially when it comes to decision making and what's going on in our life. Most of it is defined by our subconscious. So think about how you are telling your higher self that it's okay for people to treat you like that. It's almost like a sense of insecurity, right? You really hurt me. Oof. I used to play the victim card like no tomorrow. And it wasn't like, listen, being a victim is not, I don't want to say it's a bad thing. It's just that you're so wounded that your defenses go up and you feel like you have to over-explain to someone. The person already knows they hurt you. They're coming to you to apologize. They don't need to know more of the extent of it. That's almost the level of pushing your shit, your feelings onto someone else. And remember, you own your feelings, right? You own them. They're yours. They're your feelings. How someone makes you feel is your responsibility. Now, their actions are on them for sure, but you have the choice of how you feel. And you're allowed to feel angry or hurt or upset. Absolutely. That's not something that we're not saying or downgrading. Why it's, to me, a better choice to pick. Thank you. I appreciate your apology. Is because you're giving thanks. It's always good to give some kind of gratitude because you're upping the vibrations, right? You're actually open to receiving love. You're open to receive that forgiveness. But you're also showing the importance of that, you're not taking responsibility for their actions. Okay. It's leaving them. It might not leave them going, with it. It's okay feeling they wiped it off. When you accept it, and it doesn't have to be so cold. You don't have to be like, I accept your apology. I mean, who talks like that? You might say that like if it's somebody who is like you're not super close to, and you would just be like, and thank you for your apology. But like how you actually put your tone in, people read body language. They know if it's sincere or not, right? But if you really say, I appreciate your apology, it stays with them, that lesson, and you both earn from it. You both grow in it. You're not taking away your self-worth. You're not taking that growth period out on either sides. So I do believe that's a better answer. So I want people to be wary of what they say. And I'm curious what you say. What do you guys say? Is there other variations that you think is a better answer? Listen, I'm not saying that that's the best of them all. I'm just saying that when you can both give and receive in an equal take, how beautiful is that? How much more empowering is that for both parties? So I'm curious what you all have to say. Let me know. Comment below. Comment and say, if you are an okay person, or if you see the value of appreciating and thanking someone, keeping it simple, or or another answer. I'm not sure, but let me know. Let me know what you feel. And I think it's something that's interesting because we always, there's always more things concentrating on like how to give an apology, but I really think it's also on the receiving end too, and there's not a lot of focus on there. So I'm curious what you all say.